Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? We're here with Jacqueline from Not Reaching. If you would like to share a little bit about your product and how you came up with it.
Sure. Again, my name is Jackie. He's being nice by calling me Jacqueline. My name is Jackie Carter. That's my nickname. And I created Not Reaching after the fatal traffic stop of Philando Castile, July 6th of 2016. Um, me and my husband were celebrating our son's 30th birthday in Pennsylvania. Over in Falcon Heights, Minnesota, Valerie Castile lost her son due to a fatal traffic stop. That's what knitted our hearts together. There was something about that traffic stop that I actually said, Lord, show me something that could create a solution. And I prayed for months. I mean, I really did. It was like, I don't know what I can do. I don't know how big it can be or how small. But if you can help me come up with a solution, God, I'm going to do it. And one morning I got up and I told my husband, I said, I got it. And I immediately started sketching something out. I went to see Sergeant Roger Ellis at the police department. I told him my concept. We talked about it, and this is where Not Reaching came in. Not Reaching is a vehicle identification pouch. As you see, it's plastic. It holds your license, registration, and insurance. This clips to your driver's side air vent. So that's very important. Keep it on your driver's side air vent. So when an officer comes to your car for a traffic stop, you no longer have to reach. Reaching is what police officers say escalates the situation. And that's Not Reaching.
Okay. So what was the process behind you coming up with this and really did you think I'm gonna make it into a magnet, or did your husband help you with the idea?
He did. It was kind of crazy at the beginning because at first it was a Velcro. We went and got Velcro, and we kind of had the Velcro sticking on the console. I mean, not the console, the dash. Well, what's the thing? I'm getting the word wrong. The glove compartment.
Okay.
So we had the Velcro on there, and then we were like, wait a minute, it's still too far away. They're still reaching them.
Right.
So then, our son helped us too, and he was like, no, why don't you just get the clip? This clips on just like your cell phone. So we went with that. Then, our son actually helped us find this. I actually found a way to create the design, but he found the actual pouch in China, and that's how it actually started. But he created a wallet. So there's a wallet version as well that has a magnet sewn inside, and the wallet clips onto the magnet as well.
So that's pretty cool. It was like, see, I asked that because when I was watching your videos, I really noticed when you were sharing, you really had your heart about it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that you actually had your family come alongside you and support you in making and seeing this thing through.
Yeah.
So I was at Providence Church, and they handed out a bunch of these. They gave them out to the people, and that's when I seen it, and I got excited. I was, and then a little while later down the road, I was like, we should do an interview about this.
And I also want to say, Josh Kranz purchased these
Oh,
for the
okay.
church.
Oh, nice.
He thought enough about the men to say, I want them all to have the Not Reaching pouch.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it's so important.
Well, shout out to Josh
Shout
Kranz.
out to
That's
Josh
what's up,
Kranz
man.
all of the time.
Yeah.
He's such a forward thinker.
Yeah, and so one thing I want to say, I seen on your website, I was just looking, I was kind of looking through everything. It first says, did you know the traffic stop is often the first interaction that many citizens have with law enforcement? And I thought that's an interesting thing because I didn't really even think about it. And you talked about on all the different interviews about not only just giving the pouch, but on educating people on how to deal with the police.
Absolutely.
Is there a way people can look up or get more information on this? Or?
Sure. We actually have created a nonprofit organization called the Alliance for Safe Traffic Stops. So I'm just going to kind of show our logo. And it's the Alliance for Safe Traffic Stops. And what we do is we promote education, training, awareness, and technology to de-escalate traffic stops and reduce physical harm. So a part of the component is education, a part is technology, which we consider the Not Reaching pouch a part of technology. We have partners in this. There's a young lady named Leah LaSala, and she's her company is called Astral AR, and she's created a drone that when the police stop a car, the drone goes around the vehicle to detect if there's weapons. So before the officer even gets out the car, the situation will be de-escalated. So there are people that are creating all of these solutions, but no one's hearing about it. So we want people to be able to go to the Alliance website and find whatever solution that they're looking for. So that's what the Alliance does. We've partnered with organizations like the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement, who has a component of training. We're getting ready to work with a young lady who is getting ready to do a virtual training where it puts the driver in the police's perspective and the police in the driver's perspective. So there's all this stuff that's happening.
Yeah, when I was looking up a lot of different things, I was pretty impressed. It was on a bunch of different news stations, and I actually seen, I think it was Tia or Tamira from Sister Sisters. She was talking about the interaction that she had with the police, and it was kind of funny. You should definitely look that up.
It was on the Real Daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. I used to have a crush on her back in the day. But,
shout out.
Sister, shout out. But anyway, one thing, when I was watching all the interviews, right, the one thing I noticed about you, and I appreciated it, was how you weren't really like putting the cops down, or you weren't touching on either side, but you were like, I'm not looking at the problem, I want to bring a solution.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's kind of your heart behind this is, let's just bring a solution to the table.
Yes. Absolutely.
And, you know, one other thing that I noticed a lot of people weren't talking about was this is not just a good thing for the people, but this also will save the police time. Like now you're not having to fiddle around. It saves them stress and all these things. And I wonder why none of the people on the news really thought of that side of it.
Because you're thinking solution oriented. That's why you created another component to the solution. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was reading an article this past week about the total interaction time of a traffic stop, and it's almost 30 minutes. So now they're trying to reduce it to at least no more than 10. But that's a very good point. A part of that could be having your information in one spot and not using that time to look for paperwork.
Yeah. And I'll also bring in about this. I know some people might look at this that live in the country and they might think this is not an issue for me, you know, and it might not be, because in the country, some of the police aren't in a high stressful situation. They're not dealing with lots of different types of people. But me, myself, just being covered in tattoos in the city, I've had numerous times where, you know, the police come up and it is crazy and stressful, and, you know, you're trying to reach over there and get your stuff and stuff's lost. I think this would have definitely been handy for me. So I think this could be handy for a lot of people, and not just the people dealing with it, but like I said, the police as well.
And it's not, you know, I know that, you know, there is a certain audience, people of color, who really can benefit from this. But there's also new teen drivers who we can teach this immediately, so that this is in their DNA. You know what? Put my pouch out, be ready, and also teach them the proper procedures of a traffic stop, so that they are fully prepared when this happens. Look, I was stopped here about a year ago. I have never been stopped in my life, which I don't know how I've ever gotten away with that. But it was in Coatesville, and I had a rental car, and I didn't have my lights all the way on. Didn't know it. So they stopped me right down the hill there, and the lights are flashing, and I'm like, oh my God, I had my not reaching pouch. The officer goes around to my husband's side, and I'm like, what are you going on that side for? I'm over here. And he's, you know, we do that for traffic. There's no traffic here. There's no traffic. So he comes over and I says, officer, I'm not reaching. Would you please reach in and get my pouch? And he was like, well, what is this? So we got to talking about it, and he was like, this is amazing. He said, this is amazing. I wish everybody had this. And he didn't even run my license. It's like a bonus.
So, yeah, definitely check it out. That is a good point, how she said maybe you do have a new teenage kid and they never dealt with the police. interesting story. My grandma, she was like almost 80 years old. She'd never been pulled over in Parksburg. She gets pulled over and she was like crying and stuff and not knowing how to deal with the police. So this is not just an issue for young or old or white or black or anything, but this could be for anybody that's never dealt with law enforcement.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I appreciate you about this, and
Thank you.
you know, and we just wanted to share it and just let people see, and just say if you want, look it up, www.notreaching.com.
Can I just mention though, in 2020, we are embarking on a 20-city campaign called Pouches Across America, where we will be giving Not Reaching pouches to these 20 specific cities. We want to give out 1,000 pouches in each city.
Oh, nice.
And we're excited about that because the goal was never really to make money.
Yeah.
It was always to get these in the cars of drivers who needed them most.
Yeah.
So we're going back to what was our original intent and what I believe God has always meant for us to do.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to doing that, and in that time frame, we're going to also be educating and doing that, and we're looking forward to working with Valerie Castile. I mean, Valerie said if her son had the Not Reaching pouch, he could be alive today. That's a powerful statement from a mom.
Yeah.
And also, there's not just this pouch. Now we've created pouches that says I'm autistic. We have a PTSD. I have PTSD. I have a license to carry a firearm. People want the police to know what's going on when they first get there.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about what's going on in society and with people. So I just wanted to say that, and I want to say thank you. And please go to notreaching.com. The nonprofit is thetheasts.org. Theasts.org, and find out a little bit more about our nonprofit because we're coming to your city. And I do want to say too, when it comes to law enforcement, they're skeptical. I understand that, but I originally worked this out with police.
Yeah.
And just about a month ago, I did a ride along in Alexandria, Virginia. I suggest everyone does a ride along. You have to see the other side.
Yeah.
And I left out of that ride along like, whoa. It was so action packed. It was like live PD. We almost got sideswiped by a drunk driver. I watched them take them out the car. I watched the procedures. I see how they are the most distracted drivers. They have everything in there. They have a laptop. They're working on that. They're riding. They're doing this. They are underappreciated. There are bad actors in every part of society. Bad actors in every part of society. But when you need someone, who are you going to call? I guarantee it's not Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Well, that's how, like what you just said. I mean, this right here, I mean, even if you put it out there and it got to thousands of people, and even if it just saved one or two people's lives, then that's worth it right there.
We've had great commentaries and testimonies from people who have used it. I have a deaf pouch. This one guy emailed me and said, thank God we have the pouch because he has so many problems when he is pulled over, and now that he has the deaf pouch, he has no problem.
Okay.
That's
We're
amazing.
going to take these and interview a few other people and just see what their thoughts are on it, and just see if it would be useful to them and how they would, like it. And, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.